Reverend Jimmy Pruitt from Grace Baptist Church to do our invocation. They would like for you to stand for our Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, Lord, we are thankful for this day, for this time, and this place. Thankful for these men and women who have put themselves in a place of leadership in our community. We ask you today to watch over and lead and guide everything that's said and done here to be done in a manner that's civil and unifying and encouraging and exhorting to our community. We'll be careful to remember our first responders and our public safety personnel, all those employed by our city to keep our community so nice and neat and clean. All of those that are employed by our city as they go about every day doing the things it does to keep LaGrange the community that it is. So we'd ask you now, lead us and guide us forward from this moment in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Brother Pruitt. Appreciate you so much. We have been given minutes for approval. Could we receive a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign, and it passes unanimously. We have employee recognition tonight. We're very happy to award some certificates tonight for the Georgia Emergency Management. I'd like to call down at this time Mr. Nathan Gaskin, Mr. Mark Mitchell, and Mr. Bill Bullock. These gentlemen, they went out and they went with the fire department, emergency management team, and they made an accomplishment. And we're proud tonight to give them these certificates in honor of this Brother Nathan Gaskin, Mark Mitchell, and Bill Bullock. Thank you all so very much. Thank you all.
Can we get a picture of all three of you?
Sure.
Let me get one real quick. Can y'all hold evidence? There we go. Thank you. Very good. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for them for their hard work, and we appreciate it. We come now to our public hearing to receive comments on boarding, planning, and zoning's appeal recommendation to rezone property located adjacent to Panther Way and Pine Street from general campus business and traditional neighborhood residential to neighborhood medium density residential.
I guess, Mr. Mayor, the public hearing was properly advertised. We take any comment at this time.
Yes, please come forward, state your name.
Good afternoon. I'm Charlene Baxter, and I live at 412 Park Avenue, which is in the neighborhood of the rezoning request. And I have both a question and a comment, please. My question is for the purpose of the buildings. Would they be always used as dorm space, or could they be used as apartments just to general rentals at any point in time? That's my question. And then my comment is a plea that if the building goes forward, that the trees that are in that area, as much as possible, be spared. It's one of the few areas left in the neighborhood that has any kind of tree cover. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. Mark, do you have any
Mr.
answers
Mayor,
on
we've got
that?
representatives here from LaGrange College as well as from the builder, Mr. Brian Stone. I believe they'll be capable of answering those questions.
Okay, Mr. Stone, please come forward.
Speak on that, Kyle.
Did I tell you those trees? Didn't they let us speak on them? Tree board.
My name is Jerry Forster, the Vice President for LaGrange College, and just a few comments on her questions. The housing is clearly intended for student housing, but we do on occasion have residential directors, staff members who are housed within townhomes or apartments that are part of our staff. We sometimes have assistant coaches, graduate assistant coaches type of appointments as well that could be in the housing. But it's clearly intended for college housing as it has been for over a century. And then on the question of the trees, we agree. We want to keep all the specimen trees and the quality trees that are there. In fact, we've been working with Mark, and we think the two-story townhomes that are proposed along the parking area facing Panther Way, we think we got it lined out pretty well on the concept site. Near Pine Street, we may have a combination of townhomes as well as a couple duplexes. The duplexes have more flexibility as to where they can be located, such that you might save some specimen trees, pecan trees being one of them. There's a huge oak tree back there too. But yes, we definitely intend to save the existing specimen trees that are there. There are some trash trees that I believe all of us would like to perhaps remove. I'll be glad to offer any other thoughts from behalf of the college. I'll yield to the mayor on.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it, and I'm sure you answered our question that so everything will be used for college use only.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any questions from the council?
Mr. Forster, I'm assuming that this is sort of a market-based thing, that students find these kind of options in other schools, and it might, in some cases, want to bring somebody to LaGrange to have the option of living off campus, shall you say?
You are correct. We, our basic housing, residential housing in Boatwright and Pitts and Turner are good for first-year students and some market-based appetite, but there's no doubt that apartments and townhomes in this case are more desirable. And as I mentioned to a townhome meeting with some of our neighbors on June 1st, my own children now in their 30s and my grandchildren in their teenage years, the housing that they expect is a little more than what I might have been in 40 years ago. But yes, so we are trying to keep up with the competition.
Right.
And have some nice options.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you. Any other comments on that subject? Seeing none, that we declare that public hearing closed. To receive comments on the Board and Planning and Zoning's appeal recommendation on proposed UDO text amendment.
Again, Mr. Mayor, this public hearing was properly advertised, and we would take any comments at this time.
No comments? Seeing none, we consider that public hearing closed. To receive comments on the 2023-2024 budget.
Yes, sir. Again, this has been properly advertised, and we would take comments on this. I would just note that there had been some discussions about utility rate increases, but those have been removed from discussion under first readings of ordinances, and the council has directed staff to use ARPA funds to address pay increases for police staff.
Are there any comments on that from the public? Seeing none, we consider that closed, the public hearing closed. To receive comments on a TAD number 7.
Again, Mr. Mayor, this has been properly advertised. This relates to a proposed development in downtown LaGrange that would bring approximately 152 units into the area. There's a redevelopment plan that has been drafted, and we would take any comments on this item.
Any comments on that? No public comments on that. We consider that public hearing closed. Delegations. Ms. Anaya Rutledge, Intern.
Hi there, Mayor and Council. Thank you for letting me speak. Tonight we have the pleasure of hearing from Ms. Anaya Rutledge. She's a recent intern and in the Marketing and Communications Department, and we're going to ask her to talk to you about her experience at the city being an intern And she's a rising sophomore at Callaway High School, and we have truly enjoyed our time with her very much. She is a future leader for sure, and we take pride in investing in our young leaders because they are our future. So now I'm going to ask Anaya to come up and talk to y'all. Come on, okay, Ms. Anaya.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council, and City Manager. My name is Anaya Rutledge, and I am upcoming sophomore at Callaway High School. I had the pleasure of being an intern at the Marketing and Communications Department for the past 6 weeks. During my time there, I learned many things. For example, my first week there, Miss Katie introduced me to everyone and went over all the things I would be doing. Week 2, I learned about leaving LaGrange better than we found it litter pickup campaign. Week 3, I was able to tour the art museum downtown and Sweetland Amphitheater. At Sweetland, I learned about the upcoming shows that will be held at Sweetland, such as the Jeff Foxworthy Show. Week 4, which was my favorite week, I was able to sit with Adam Speeds to learn about videography and photography. He also showed me all the different equipment used to film and edit videos. Week 5, I was able to learn more about Visit LaGrange and how tourism is promoted for LaGrange. Overall, this was a great opportunity, and I am very appreciative of it. And I would like to give a big thank you to Miss Katie and the City of LaGrange for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rutledge, and we're so proud of you and so happy that you came to shadow and be the intern here at the City of LaGrange. It's a lot to learn in LaGrange. I only wish that I could have done the same thing when I was in high school, knowing that I was going to be the mayor and a city councilman. I only wish that I could have done that. So now you have a step ahead of all of us here because you know the inner workings of the city. So thank you once again. Mr. Rush Pickron.
How's everybody doing?
All right.
Doing great. All right. Make this real quick. What, we got 5 minutes? And I added this to this right quick. There was a recent internal investigation done, I guess, that police officers, whether on or off duty, can accuse members of the public of crimes. And as if I can speak on a previous internal investigation, that officer, same officer that likes to get intoxicated and lose her pants at public retreats. Bonds, why is Meg Kelsey still employed? Bonds with misappropriation of bond money. Is there $2.8 million missing? Has some of it been returned? Is there infrastructure out there for Remington? Is the infrastructure completed where that money was supposed to go? Why is Meg Kelsey still employed? And not sure if y'all had a chance to read a case law I sent y'all's wonderful and great attorney about Davison versus Randall, which is a spitting image of what Mr. Childs has done. And I understand y'all can only tell him, y'all can lead him to water. I understand that. And I'm prepared to file suit against this, as I've already gave y'all a notice about it and everything. And what else is going on in the police department? What else is happening? There's a lot of officers resigning due to drugs. There's another one, a previous one, a polygrapher, that in an internal investigation was at a motel sleeping with a known drug user, as well as failing the polygraph and then going on to take the polygraph course and become LaGrange PD's polygrapher. Is that what we promote? Do we promote that? And lastly, why is Meg Kelsey still employed?
You finished?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to address one little thing here. I want you to understand something, that this panel right here hires and fires that lady right there. And this panel right here backs up Miss Kelsey in her work here with the city of LaGrange.
So she's bleeding. So she's bleeding cash in the public department. In the public health, the housing department's making it prosper.
This is my chance to speak. I'll let you speak. Let me speak. You asked a question, I answered your question.
Okay.
This panel hires and fires her. If you want to fire her, you run and come sit in this seat.
Maybe we need new council members.
Maybe you need to go run and sit in this seat. Now,
you know what? Maybe I will.
I've been watching you badger her and all these other people in this.
This is freedom of speech. I can say whatever I want.
This is my time to speak.
I can say whatever I want.
This is my time to speak. This is my time to speak.
I'm asking that you all will keep this civil. We have children, we have other people in the audience. Just let us respect one another, and we can get something. All of us are very interested in being transparent. Mr. Mitchell has made his statement. You made your statement. The council has found no findings where we should get rid of Mrs. Kelsey because everything that we found, most of the things that was talked about was before she became city manager. It was also before I became the mayor. It was before even the past mayor that just went out. Some of the things that you're talking about was a long time ago. But to your statement, we've looked into all of that. Each council member, they're satisfied with it. And we have made a pledge to move forward so we can do the work of LaGrange and not dwell on anything of the past.
Okay, so LaGrange will continue to go broke.
No, sir, we're doing very well. We're in the black.
Hey, I gotta say this, man. You know, I appreciate all your efforts in bringing forward, shedding light in dark corners of the city. But, you know, you have to realize that this is a city that is growing. At one point in time, you could say LaGrange was a small southern town. And things were run different. Deals were made with handshakes. People wanted to gravitate towards their kinfolk and people that they knew. And that was just the way of every town. But as we have grown to attract a global manufacturer, we find ourselves pressing towards a higher mark of performance, a higher mark of caliber of personnel. These things may reveal other things in the past that have happened that may seem out of character. But I assure you that this is nothing more than growing pains. Used to be a time when something happened in LaGrange, you just heard about it in LaGrange. Now if something happens here, you're lucky if it's not on the front page in Korea. We are a global city emerging. So that's why you're starting to see this, that, and every little thing. The attention is drawn here because this is a great city. We are emerging. And you have some of the finest council members up here. And that lady right there, sharp as a tack. I promise you that. That's why we're able to identify, correct, and rectify anything that happens in this city. There's nothing that we can't handle. For God's sake, we made it through COVID. And we will continue. Trust and believe. As long as I'm sitting up here, it's going to be right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Petition and Communications Board and Planners and Zoning is appeal. Recommendation on request to rezone property.
You forgot one.
I did?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Mr. Littlefield. Is he here?
I'm here.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Littlefield.
I was going to let that go.
Good afternoon. It is good to see all of you again. For those of you who don't know me out here, I am Kevin Littlefield. I am the chairman of the Troup County Democratic Party. I came here tonight because there are some things I wanted to address that I saw First off, that I saw happen here in this chamber the last time I came to a city council meeting. I saw Mr. Russ Pickron from Georgia Transparency come into this chamber and call a duly elected sitting city councilman the dumbest city councilman of all time. Well, just let me say for the record that Mr. Childs is one of the most intelligent and ethical men that I know. I am from LaGrange. This is my home. I went to LaGrange High. I bleed Granger blue. I got my Eagle Scout award from the Dixie Mill Village troop. But over the past few months, this city has become a circus due to the unprofessional and incompetent, quote, reporting of Georgia Transparency. And it has got to stop. The city employees here, they are shutting themselves up in their offices and not coming out because they are feeling bullied, because they are feeling like they are being intimidated and that no one is speaking up for them. I have more issues with the state government, the local government, the county government, the national government than anybody. So if I'm coming here telling you that the city employees are feeling like they are being intimidated and bullied, it's pretty serious. Because you all know me, and you know I have absolutely no problem coming up here and saying anything about this city. But this is ridiculous. This has become ridiculous. No one cares that Councilman Childs blocked Mr. Pickron on Facebook. No one. They want to know whether or not their power bill is going to go up. No one cares that Maya Dowell deleted a video of Mr. Pickron acting like whatever he acts like at a school board meeting. No one cares about that. No one cares that some police officers drank too much at a retreat one weekend. That is not an issue that the people of LaGrange care about. I have a degree in political science. I know how to look for the signs of these things, and I am telling you, the response has been overwhelming to me. They're coming to me talking about the way that this town has been turned into a circus by the way Mr. Pickron has been acting here in this council and the way that he has been acting here in this town. So I don't, you know, my colonel when I was in the Army, and that's what bothers me the most, Mr. Pickron is a former NCO in the United States Army. That is the most respected institution in this country. And this is not, what I have seen here tonight is not conduct becoming of someone that has served as an NCO in the United States Army. And this is from someone that has served as an officer in the United States Army. But we've got to do something. My colonel would always say, never bring me a problem without a solution. And I realize I'm doing a little bit of that now because I don't really know, because I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a police officer. But we have to do something. You know, I've known some of these city employees my whole life, and when they're calling me upset, there's a problem. We have to do something. I don't know, maybe have more security here from the police department, the city council meeting, and throw Mr. Pickron out when he is being disorderly. Maybe something like that is in order. That's what I would like to see. Rest assured, you will not have any argument from the Democratic Party of Troup County if you do. I can promise you that. So gentlemen, we have to do something. Something has to be done. This city has to get back to the business that the people of LaGrange actually care about, like their power bill. Any questions?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Mr. Littlefield, and forgive me once again for overlooking you. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, please.
Board and Planning and Zoning appeal a recommendation on a request to rezone property located at 1374 South Davis Road from quarter mixed use to campus general industrial and agribusiness, and to amend the comprehensive plan char area map.
Mr. Costa will give that report, Mayor.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Councilman.
Mr. Costa.
As we discussed this morning during the work session, our Planning Commission has unanimously recommended that approximately 43 acres of property located at 1374 South Davis Road be rezoned from corridor mixed use to campus general industrial and agribusiness. Additionally, a corresponding request has been made to amend our comprehensive plan character area map, thus changing the character area designation of this parcel from professional park development to industrial. The action item for this evening is to call for a public hearing to be held on July the 11th.
Call for public.
Second. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed by the same sign? Ayes have it, so carried.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. City council members report.
I have one.
Yes.
I discussed this morning in the 11 o'clock work session, so if you were there, you heard what I said, and I'm going to repeat myself again here tonight. This may allow me to lose some friends. It may allow me to make some enemies, but I really don't care. So here we go. God can't be pleased. We as a community, council members, anybody who has anything to do with the city of LaGrange needs a heart transplant. No more finger pointing, blame game, and shaming, because nobody, including myself, is perfect. Every week there's a display of greed, jealousy, slander, you name it. The list goes on and on. It's true, everybody's not going to get along. We understand that. But whatever happened to us coming together for one common cause? And that common cause is what we signed up for when we came to the city of LaGrange. We've got to put feelings aside. We've got to put personal agendas aside. We've got to put anger aside. And we've definitely got to put ego aside. I'm a young buck on the council and the community. And I look to my older leaders for guidance and wisdom. Well, I asked the question this morning, how can I look and receive guidance and wisdom from them when they aren't leading right now? We can sit up and talk about budget and ordinance or whatever you may want to do, but until we clean this mess up, it's not going to work like it's supposed to. Nothing that we're doing. I'm sincerely praying that we can all make our wrongs right, starting today. We can't change yesterday, and we can't worry about tomorrow because it ain't came yet. But we can focus on getting better today. Look deep inside your hearts today. Today is our chance to get things right and move forward as individuals and a city. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other council members have reports?
Was Mr. Five actually going to get that street analysis report to us personally, or was he going to do it here?
He said he had a conflict about coming tonight, so maybe I'll just email that information to you. I'll try to get it first thing in the morning.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I apologize to you, Mayor, and the council for getting a little loud there.
We understand.
Any
other reports?
Yeah. I didn't write mine out like Quay did. I probably should have. It would have been more proficient. But I want to apologize to the mayor for my outburst this morning. It was uncalled for, and I wasn't following the example that I should be setting, especially for the young people out there, and there are a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of young people out there. But with that being said, there is something to be said for being an honorable person. Say what you mean and mean what you say. There's a certain amount of faith and trust that people have in an elected official, which demands that you deal with other people in good faith. If I say I'm going to work with you on an issue, I need to work with you on that issue. If I say that I can't do that without this, then be willing to negotiate. Be willing to come together to achieve common goals of making this city greater than what it is already. This can be achieved. It's not impossible. But like my brother Quay Body said, you have to put aside your ego. This world does not revolve around me. I am merely a pimple on the backside of the universe. And all of us can easily be replaced. Now, with that being said, I was handed a budget. During the budget process, we negotiated and talked about it in good faith. We agreed. We shook hands. We had pound cake. We talked for how many hours? 6 hours about this budget. We all sacrificed our days from our friends, families, jobs, loved ones, pets. Where's Evie? Is she here? Make a long story short, we sacrificed. We did what we had to do to make sure that we were able to meet the needs of this city and the citizens that reside here. And then I came into a work session this morning, and that budget no longer existed in the form that it was received to me. I need my fellow council members to be honorable men. Don't switch horses on me in midstream. Don't be bullied and intimidated by people. We just had the first reading of our budget. Not one citizen from LaGrange commented on it. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But whatever the case is, the budget that Meg Kelsey has provided to me is no longer the budget that exists. So with that being said, I thank all of you for listening to me, and I pray that we will all do better as being honorable council members of this city.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gaskin. To enlighten the public about the actual budget, we were dealing with the budget, and the original budget, we had to go up on utilities. We had a lot of complaints of people that was having problems with the budget, with the utility rate increase, which we have not had a rate increase for a couple of years. And we thought it was able to pass. We've done this many years. I've been working on the budgets for the past 24 years. And we've always got a budget, but we've also gone back many, many times and amended the budget. This is what we did this morning. We amended the budget, and there was some heated discussions in it. This is why we were receiving comments tonight. There was heated discussions this morning in the budget. But as the mayor and the council, we was trying our best, and the city manager, we were trying our best to keep from increasing the rates. So we had to do some cutting. And by doing we had some serious cuts. We did some serious cuts to agencies, just so that we can keep our citizens' rates down. And this is only for this year. So it needs to go out to the public that on next year, there is very serious concerns that we will have to increase our rates, our utility rates. But this year, according to the budget that we currently have at this time, there will be no rate increase on your utilities. And we're only doing that because we're trying to make sure that our citizens are aware of what we're trying to do to help them in a rough time right now. But thank you so very much. We have some great men that's on this council, and each one of us was elected to be very frugal with your money, to make sure that we spend your money in a proper way. And that's only what we was trying to do, is make sure that we spent your money in a proper way. So I wanted to let you know exactly what we were doing and what was going on. You may see it in the newspaper because our newspaper people are here. And we're only trying our best to do what we can, so we had to amend the budget. It may be some other amendments before the actual budget is voted upon on our next meeting. Now, for those of you that was not aware, this was only a public hearing for our budget tonight. On the next meeting, we will be voting for the budget. And it will not be a public hearing on next meeting. It will be voting on the budget. So if there is any other amendments on there, it'll come up before the next meeting. Thank you so much. Any other councilors have any other reports? All right, our city manager report.
For you, Mayor, the financial statements for May, as well as the payment of bills over $2,000 are attached to your agenda. Be glad to answer any questions that you have about that. Don't have any particular comments at this time.
Any questions on our budget? I'm sorry, on our city manager report.
Yes. Did you find any large sums of money?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No other questions? Thank you so much, Ms. Kelsey. Our first reading of ordinances rezoning property located on Harris Street and Vernon Street and owned by LaGrange College.
I think we have two additional city manager items.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
That are going to require action.
It's okay.
Thank you. I'm moving fast tonight.
I have two others.
don't have to wait.
They won't take long, I don't think.
Thank you. I
Board
see
and
it.
agencies?
No.
No, sir, I'm city
Declaring property.
Three and 4.
Okay.
So we have received a request about interested party on some property that the city owns on SL White Boulevard. It's about 14 acres of land. Several months back, we actually had an appraisal on this property of $840,000. Staff would move to declare the property surplus and establish a minimum bid of $840,000.
Make a motion that we move to make it surplus property.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign? And it passes unanimously.
And finally, Mr. Mayor, our next meeting was scheduled to be June the 27th, but there is a GMA convention during that time. Staff would recommend to reschedule that meeting to June the 20th.
Motion rescheduled to June the 20th.
All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed by the same sign, and it passes unanimously. To the public, we will be in Savannah, Georgia. This is for training for all municipal government people down in Savannah at the end of this month. So that's what we'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Thursday. I'll be there. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. All phone calls will be directed to the mayor.
The mayor will be down in Savannah as well, but my phone is always on. So thank you. All right, now, moving on.
Yes.
Rezoning property located on Harris Street and Vernon Street and owned by LaGrange College.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to amend the zoning map and ordinances of the city so as to reclassify the use zone of real estate located on Pine Street and Vernon Street and owned by LaGrange College, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix an effective date for other purposes.
UDO text amendment modifying previous provisions to confront the state law.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to amend the zoning ordinance of the city so as to modify provisions relating to notice and judicial review to conform to state law, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix an effective date for other purposes.
Adopting the 2023-2024 budget.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to provide for the adoption of a budget containing estimates of proposed revenues and expenditures for the city of LaGrange for the 12-month period beginning July 1, 23 and ending June 30th, 24, to provide for separability, to fix an effective date, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and for other purposes.
Levying an ad valorem tax for 2023.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to levy an ad valorem tax for the city for calendar year 2023, to provide for separability, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix an effective date, and for other purposes.
Now, to let everyone know what that is, that means the city of LaGrange, once again, has no city tax. We're not imposing city tax on anyone. You need to give yourselves a hand. Modifying garbage collection fees.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to amend the code of the city, to amend Articles 2 and 3 of Chapter 15-10 of the code in order to modify the fees for certain residential garbage and commercial garbage collection, to repeal conflicting ordinances, fix an effective date, and for other purposes.
Modifying vehicle tire disposal fees.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to amend the code of the city, to amend Chapter 15-10 of the code in order to modify the charges for disposal of vehicle tires at the city solid waste disposal facility, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix an effective date, and for other purposes.
Modifying utility miscellaneous fees.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to amend the code of the city to modify the fee for insufficient fund payment refunds, to modify certain reestablishment service fees, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix an effective date, and for other purposes.
All right. For those of you, we have a first reading on the ordinances. There is no vote on the first reading. On the second reading, which will be the next meeting, we will then vote on these things that we had the first reading this week. Yeah.
I have an honor. I have a question. Do we have to vote on the rescheduling of that meeting?
Did we?
No, we did not.
I believe we did.
Yeah.
Mark made the motion. Councilman Body seconded. You voted. in
But I mean, it's just motion second, no vote.
Yeah, we voted. All in favor? Aye. That is the vote.
Okay. I don't remember. I don't recall.
You was caught up in the pound cake.
Yeah, I was caught up in the pound cake. It was good. It was good now.
Okay. Board and agency appointments, Alpha Multipurpose Center, one-year term to succeed Alton West.
Move we renominate Mr. West.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign, and it passes unanimously. Board and Planning and Zoning's appeal, four-year term to succeed June Nelson and Ben Yates.
Motion to reappoint June Nelson and Ben Yates.
Second.
Has a motion proper second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign, ayes have it, and it passes unanimously. Visit LaGrange Board, two-year term to succeed Chase Hudson, Tabitha Cupperson, Carlton Wood, and Chris Lutz.
Chris Lutz is not going to be nominated because we wasn't able to get in touch with him. So I make a motion that we renominate for two-year term Chris Hudson, Tabitha Cupperson, Carlton Wood.
Second.
Have the motion proper second, they reappoint Chase Hudson, Tabitha Cupperson, Carlton Wood. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign.
What are we going to do about the NTC?
We have to get an executive session.
We'll circle back around to that?
We'll circle that one, and we'll discuss that.
All right.
Tree Advisory Board, four-year term to succeed Jay Bartlett.
Move we nominate Mr. Bartlett for the four-year term.
Second.
Has a motion proper second that Mr. Jay Bartlett will be succeed himself. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign, as ayes have it, it passes unanimously. Closing comments, Ms. Ventura.
Yes, sir. The good news for tonight is that Governor Kemp recently awarded the city a $1.4 million grant for local public safety improvements. The money will be used to replace the city's CAD or computer-aided dispatch system and records management system, or RMS, that LPD, the Troup County Sheriff's Office, and Troup County 911 all use. So congratulations to that.
Thank you so very much. Okay, thanks so very much. Anything else? This meeting is now adjourned.